I could tell you that there's 3 top 25 SEC games on the docket for tonight. Some interesting games in the NBA as well, but Mark Zinno has already promised me that he's going to interrupt my intro, so I'm going to keep it short and sweet, Zinno, and give you the floor before we get into Tuesday's games. Some interesting looks. You're sitting there now looking wooden and laconic, not interrupting me, so I wish I would have prepared a better intro. Thank you for throwing me under the bus.
Well, like any good play caller and schemer, I have caught you off guard, similar to Kevin O'Connell in his high school offense last night.
Jesus.
I mean,
his middle school quarterback. I feel bad for Sam Darnold. You probably don't.
Don't feel bad for Sam Darnold. Don't.
I have a bit of a bleeding heart. I have a bit of a bleed. I feel bad for people.
You know who I feel bad for? You know who I feel bad for?
Sam Darnold's mom.
Giants. You want to know why? Because to the pompous douche in the comment section yesterday, you know what my record was yesterday? I'll tell you there, tough guy, 0-3. I sucked. Yesterday was 0-3. Do you feel better that I know my record now? How about I don't know my record and win instead of knowing my record and lose? How about that? So I know my record. It was 0-3. Terrible yesterday. Terrible. And good. I can't decide who sucks more, the Vikings or UCLA, but they both suck.
They weren't good.
They suck. UCLA went to Piscataway, New Jersey, and lost a basketball game to a really bad team. And that was by handicap. UCLA was the better team. Guess what? They were not the better team.
They weren't.
They were awful.
Not a good team.
Midget.
I had Minnesota. I had one play yesterday. It lost. I had Minnesota on the money line, -115. Beat the line move. I was like, hey, there's going to be a venue change here. I'm going to get some value. Guess what? I had value, but I didn't have a winning pick because the Minnesota Vikings were very, very bad last night. You know what, though? We've talked about this before, and this is not a cop-out. But it's the way I feel, and I think you feel the same way, and I'm going to reiterate it right now for our fine viewers. I would rather just know a play is dead on arrival 5 to 10 minutes into the game than get it out for 3 hours and get screwed at the end. That's the way I knew that play was dead on arrival. You
want to know what I was dead on arrival? The very first play when Puka Nacua was open 27 yards downfield by a mile. By a mile, he was wide open on the first play. It was like practice.
The football field was that long. Oh, okay.
So it was bad. And again, inevitably it happens, and put this in your mental notes, folks. Inevitably, it happens every year in a wild card game, right? Some sort of thing that is developed throughout the entire season goes the exact opposite in a wild card game, i.e., Minnesota's never trailed by 10 points at halftime the entire year. Oh, they're down by 21. Minnesota never, in one game this year, that they score less than 6 points and a half. It was against the Jaguars. 3 points. I mean,
that was a game where Darnold threw like 18 interceptions in the end zone. It was not 18, but it was 3.
The only thing you could feel bad for Sam Darnold because he cost himself, $20, $30 million last night.
Yes, and I do feel bad for the man.
I again, my
feel
issue.
Bad for his accountant.
Here's where I really get pissed off at Sam Darnold. Because I knew this was coming. I knew it. And I remember we had a conversation. I had a conversation with my friends in New York. I'm like, Sam Darnold's turning into a pumpkin. After 2 weeks, I bet against him in week 3. Guy burned me. Bet against him in week 5. Guy burned me. Bet against him in week 7. I'm like, this whole thing has got to stop. It finally showed up in week 18 after 17 weeks of fooling us all. And then it showed up again this week in the playoffs. So
I had a similar rant, not quite as spirited, not quite as forceful. But I did have a similar rant about Baker Mayfield on yesterday's show, so people can go back in the archives and check that out. But hey,
all I have to say to the Minnesota Vikings, see you next Tuesday, jerks.
You did work it in. You're a beautiful man. All right. Tonight, there is no football. Football is in the rear view for a few days. God. We will resume the division round. Yeah, I didn't have a good wild card weekend. I was very upset about it.
No, you did. The last 2 games of the weekend were the bad part of wild card week. The first 4 were fine.
Yes, exactly. Anyway, we're going to talk basketball tonight, Mr. M, as your mug says there. Forget your name?
You know what this stands for?
What? Mark.
Money. Which I've apparently taken from the clients last night.
I'm not going to dignify this with a response. What you're going to do right now is talk about Cuse and Ville, Syracuse and Louisville, a little ACC action. I do.
Okay, well,
Apostrophe Cuse at apostrophe Ville. Put it on the screen right now like that. It would save space on the Chiron graphic, industry term. Would you like to talk about this game?
So proud of you for using an industry term. Like dead on balls accurate, also an industry term. If you can name the movie, I'll give you a quarter. Name the movie in the comment section. Name the movie in the comment section. Dead on balls accurate. It's an industry term. All right, let's get to Louisville. Not the Ville. Louisville and Syracuse. Do we believe Louisville to be as good as their record? Do we believe Louisville to be this good on the road this year? I think that's really where this handicap lies for me. Louisville's won 6 in a row now, including 3 straight on the road, all in conference, in pretty convincing fashion. They beat Florida State by 14. They beat Virginia by 20. And they beat Pitt only by 4. But still, this is laying a fat number here for me. And it's a number that I don't think they should be laying, to be perfectly honest with you, when we look at this year. Look, I know Syracuse is not the same Syracuse we're used to seeing. But, again, like you look at some of these numbers here of comparatively speaking, the last couple of years of matchups. Last year in the last matchup, Syracuse in Louisville was favored by 5. At Syracuse, they were favored by 9. They were favored by 9. Syracuse favored by 7.5. You have to go back to 2020. The last time Louisville was a favorite against Syracuse. And yeah, it's a big jump here. And this is a big number, I think, for them to cover. Syracuse themselves here, starting to turn the corner. Maybe they've won 2 straight. And they're back home, where obviously it's a tough place to play in the old Carrier Dome. Now they call it something different. Do you know the JMA Wireless Dome? That's a stupid name for a building.
I don't call things that. Look, the Carrier Dome was a good name, and we're going to stick with the Carrier Dome. Adam Trigger, noted Syracuse fan, has said we're sticking with the Carrier Dome, and I'm going to listen to him. So, again, this is a Louisville team here that I think, is primed for a little regression, particularly from the shooting aspect. You go back to their last couple of games, all shooting better than 40% in all of them. Like at some point that, to a certain extent, has to regress a little bit. They have to have a bad shooting night at some point in time. I think we get it tonight. So I just like Syracuse to stay within this number. I'm not sure they can win the game, although I'd give them a fighting chance, a puncher's chance. But too big of a number here. We'll take Houston the points. There you go. Mark Zinno taking Cuse and the points. Smash that like button if you agree. At the top, I mentioned we've got 3. Not 1, not 2, but 3 top 25 matchups in the SEC tonight. All of them tip off at 7 p.m. Eastern, so you're going to have multiple screens going to catch all of these. I will break down one of them for you. It is number 1 Auburn hosting number 15 Mississippi State, and the big story here is Broome is out for Auburn. He might be out for an extended period of time with the ankle injury he suffered over the weekend. It's obviously a big blow to the Tigers. Mark, Broome, he leads the team in points, rebounds, assists, and blocks. Seems
that good?
Seems like a pretty good player. Yeah, it's a pretty good player. So they're missing him. Mississippi State, if you read the quotes, head coach Chris Jans was not happy with the way that game against Kentucky went over the weekend. Very high scoring. I think Mississippi State's going to, on the road, is going to come in, look to slow the pace down. The Bulldogs had, prior to facing Kentucky, been quite good when stepping up in class. I believe they're 6-1 straight up, 5-2 ATS against the Ken Palm top 75. That's pretty impressive right there. We have seen the under take money so far. I think it's even down to 150.5 at some shops as we are recording this right now. I'm looking at the WagerTalk Live odds screen. It is flashing. There are colors in front of me. So I say let's get on this as quick as we can, Mark. I like the under in Auburn, Mississippi State. Auburn without its best player, Mississippi State, they're going to slow things down. Both these teams can defend well. Look, I know some of these SEC games have crazy high scores, but all things considered, I think this is a low-scoring one. Give me the under in a top 15 matchup on Tuesday.
You know what you can't do without Broom?
Can't sweep.
Can't sweep. Not gonna happen.
You know what? I've moved up here now. I'm recording in a different room than I used to when we started the morning wager.
And you don't have the broom.
Books are no broom. Auburn has no broom. I have no broom. There's no brooms.
No broom.
We are broomless on the morning wager here on Tuesday. You know what we are. You know what else? You know what you can do on Tuesday, I should say, at WagerTalk.com. You can only spend $5 and get a best bet from your favorite handicapper. And Mark Zinno, I am going to give you the floor. I'm going to cede the floor to you because some of the things that you were telling me this morning, I could not believe my ears. As the rumor has it, I believe Woj is reporting, Shams is reporting. I guess they're NBA reporters, but you have a $5 5% play in college hoops tonight.
First one of the season. First 5% play of the season. Why?
I have one thing to say to that. My God.
Yes. Because after I stole money from the clients yesterday with my 0-3 record, you see, I remembered it. I remembered the record because that's important. Douche. Anyway, I figured I'd throw one back to the people because I am a man of the people. This show is a show for the people. WTW first 5% college play of the year. Even with last night's 0-2 in college, we're still on an 11-6 college run since Christmas. You see, I remember my record again. You want to know why? Because I looked at it before the show, unlike yesterday.
It was my fault. I put you on the spot. I said, tell me about your record.
It's not your fault.
Oh, it isn't.
To the clown in the comment section. Bro, like, it's on my page. If you're curious what my record is, go to WT.us/MZ. They're all right there. It's all right in a row. You know what you'll see over the last 3 plays? L. Okay?
Say.
I mean, so I decided to come back and give the people a 5% play my first of the year for just $5 because you guys deserve better. You deserve better. And I want to give it to you. I mean, we are the gatekeepers of honesty and integrity on this entire network.
We talked about that yesterday.
It is up to us to make sure that the people have what they need. And so I screwed up last night, and now I give back to you. Because you know what? I'm not an Eagles fan who likes to yell bad words at people. I'm a nice guy. Okay? I'm a nice guy. You've seen this clown, haven't you? They found this.
Yes, I have. Yes, okay. I have. There's a lot of clowns on that side.
Day is all over his profile.
Okay, we're not going to start with that. Okay.
Saying it's on there. He refers to himself as they. That's weird.
I don't.
You should refer to yourself in the third person.
The Rock referred to himself as the third person. Look how much money he made. Okay. Yes. A very unique promotional strategy from Mark Zinno, but it was very Mark Zinno, and in his own words, he wants to give it to you. So why not take it? $5 from Mark Zinno. Oh, you did. Check the tape.
No, I didn't.
I'm twisting your words again.
Yes, you are. And when you twist my words, okay, it's uncomfortable for all of it. Yeah, well, because you make it weird.
I laugh.
I know, but you make it weird.
Okay. I will have a $5 place. Well, I have not decided on it yet as of press time, but hopefully it should be up by the time you are watching the show. Look, I'm very upset about the Vikings. I have some soccer up already, though, for the afternoon. Big midweek soccer slate over in Europe.
Why do you do this? Why do you do? No one cares.
I like soccer, and so do other people. I don't care if you don't like it.
Not in America.
Well, guess what?
What?
I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to blow you.
Wait a second. Jeffrey Epstein, you have international clients?
Okay, that was uncalled for, first of all. Number 2, I am going to blow your mind right now and tell you that this show, which is on the internet, on YouTube.com, please subscribe, by the way, to the WagerTalk YouTube channel if you already haven't done so. YouTube, it goes beyond America. It goes to the whole world.
It does?
It's unbelievable. Yes, the World Wide Web. No one calls it the World Wide Web anymore, do they?
No, they don't.
I'm going to start calling it that.
I'm
just
going to
to
start
piss
calling
you
you
off.
the Jeffrey Epstein of Wager Talk with your
No,
international
that
clients.
okay. That is online. I demand that be stricken from the record. Okay. Tell you what, me and
International
Jimmy
client.
me and Jimmy Kimmel are going to sue you and Aaron Rodgers for all you're worth. I'll take his winnings. Anyway, all right, there we go.
I'll give you my $5 play for free. How's that sound?
Yeah, what a deal. All right, I already know what it
You
is.
already know.
Okay. Freaking, what are you giving me? I know what it is. You know what?
We talked about it.
If you don't take back what you said, I'm going to tell everyone right now. No, I'm not going to do
take
that. All right.
You
Okay.
tell
Let's
people.
talk about the
don't-
NBA.
Okay,
You know what
let's
we're
do
going to
that.
talk about right now? You know what we're going to talk about
Yes.
right now is the NBA, because that's where our show best bet is. Mark Zinno, it is a known fact that you live in the Atlanta area and you choose to
Yes.
focus on the Hawks a little bit. You
Yeah.
hate the Hawks. I think that's also
That's
well
not
known.
true.
You've despised
Not
this
true.
basketball team.
Now you're saying things that are factually
Really,
correct.
from the minute they were born into existence, you have hated the Atlanta Hawks. I heard as a child you hated Dominique Wilkins. As a matter of fact, you hated Spud
You know
Webb.
what I found out when I moved here was just strange. John Sterling, the voice of the Yankees, used to be
Yes.
the Hawks play-by-play guy.
I did not know that.
Yeah,
Wow.
that's crazy, right?
Da Hawks.
Oh, Hawks win!
Yeah, wow. I learned something today. That's very good.
If there's anything I do
Well, you
on
learn on the morning wager.
is make people smarter. I'm not saying that equates to get more money. I'm just saying I made you smarter.
Yeah. I apologize for yelling very loud on the microphone, Dan. All right.
I read it in a book.
Tell the people why they should take the points with the Hawks against the Suns, even though you hate the Hawks.
Oh my God, you may be one of the more annoying co-hosts I've ever had. I just want to put that out there.
Saying something.
That's okay. What's that?
It's saying something.
Well, that's true. Okay, so let's take a look here at this matchup, because what is interesting to note is the fact that the Hawks are a much more well-rested team. The last time the Hawks played was back on January 9th. Check watch and calendar. That was 6 days ago, 5 days ago. They haven't played a game. Why?
The calendar was wrong.
After their long West Coast trip where they lost 4 or 5, they were supposed to come home and play a game, but it snowed here in Atlanta last Friday. And so because when it snows in Georgia, the entire state goes into a large amount of panic, then guess what? They had to cancel.
Did you panic?
I did not. I went outside and shoveled my driveway. That was it.
How was that pizza coming, by the way?
I mean, I can't help you if you're stupid enough to be closed on a snow day. I don't know what to tell you. Like, that's a you problem. So the Hawks haven't played in 5 days. The Suns played 2 days ago, finished up their homestand with a win over lifeless Charlotte. The Hawks' last opponent was the Phoenix Suns. They come back in. Here's an interesting stat. The Phoenix Suns are 2-8-1 this year against the number with a rest disadvantage. How does that make you feel, Brian Power?
The
Hawks are getting the same 5.5. It was six last time out. They pushed the number in the game that they lost. But Trae Young throughout his career has really had good games against the Suns, particularly at home. His last 3 home games against the Suns, 32 points, 36 points, 43 points. He likes playing against the Phoenix Suns. In fact, you keep going back, and this is, after his rookie year, the 5 games after his rookie year against Phoenix, I had 36, 16, 43, 36, 32. He had 21 last time out against them on the road. So big night from Trae Young. He's listed as questionable. Obviously, remember the commenter, hey, guys, you can't make a bet on the NBA in the morning because you don't know who's playing. So let's wait until we figure out who's playing in the game before we make the wager.
Oh.
I don't see the line moving that much. Jalen Johnson will be out for the Hawks. He's one of their better kind of defenders, but that's a little bit of an issue for them. But still, they should have enough here. And plus, again, I just don't like the Suns laying this number on the road. So
they're a very bad ATS team.
Again, they are a very bad ATS team. Hawks have actually been okay. They're 19-19, better than we thought they would be. 10-7 at home. Hawks 6-11 away, straight up. So, but remember, wait till we know who's playing because you guys make the NBA play. You don't know who's playing yet in the morning. So when we get later on tonight, we'll take the Hawks plus 5.5.
The snow may be gone in Atlanta, but the suns will not be shining, says Mark Zinno. Atlanta Hawks.
Wow. How long were you thinking while I was talking about that? How long? I mean, really, like, you're like, oh, God, snow and sun. Oh, it's a weather analogy. Oh, it'd be clever.
I'll be honest with you. When you threw it to me about what do you think about that, Brian Power, and I didn't really say anything, it's because I was coming up with that, and I was very proud of myself. I knew you. I knew you'd be impressed. But anyway, please comment down below with your thoughts on this show. What we've given you as a reminder in college, Mark liked Cuse plus 7.5, plus 8, and I liked the under in the Auburn Mississippi State game. We will be back Wednesday with more free plays. Again, please smash that like button if you enjoy these free plays being given out on a daily basis here on WagerTalk TV. We appreciate each and every one of you, even though Mark Zinno likes to insult those of you who don't maybe appreciate us. Shall we take the show home?
No. It's one thing to, if again, I am here for criticism. It doesn't bother me.
Oh, you are.
Okay. But like, critique something of value, not me not remembering my exact record over the weekend when I had a couple of pops and, just wasn't really focused. Okay. Again, I didn't come into the show. No, I'm just saying, like, if you want to say, hey, you guys got it wrong on Minnesota last night. Yeah, we're well aware. We know we did it wrong. It's a bad call on our part. I had Minnesota first half total over because, oh my God, they averaged more points on the road than they did at home. And everything, if you go look at the write-up, everything added up for me. It's the wrong call. It happens. I don't mind getting critiqued on that, but don't be, I'm not going to buy it if I can't remember his record. Stupid. Okay. I have to remember the record. Okay. There's a thing that tracks it all. Sorry, I didn't remember my last 8 plays in a row.
I'm on a 23-13-1 all sports run, so that guy can buy from me.
I mean, that's. Right. I knew that was coming. My God.
That was another one. I'm getting hot at the end of the show here. I'm getting to be a broadcast professional.
Well,
you sit under the learning tree of Joe Ranieri for 2 years, and look what happens.
You become an asshole. Is that what happens? Brian Power is still a douche.
It's so wrong.
Joe likes nobody. Joe likes nobody. Yes.
No, I was told I should be honored with the way he speaks.
Yes, I mean, listen. We all love Joe. We all love Joe, but Joe doesn't like anyone. No. Yeah. I mean, if it's anything you learn from Joe, it's how to be an a-hole to everybody. I mean, because Joe just has it on lockdown. I mean, doesn't matter. The Virgin Mother Mary herself could walk in the room and Joe would still be pissed. I mean, it's just the reality.
All right. It is. All right, everybody.
Oh, by the way.
We'll be back.
Oh, by the way. I have to end this show on this note.
Okay.
We didn't get our slump buster. We did not. That pig walked out of the bar on us. We didn't get a slump buster.
No, well, look, I'm a happily married man, but off the court, no slump buster there for you?
No, I was busted. I wasn't the buster. I was the bustee. 0-3.
Okay, well.
I'm busted.
Well. Hopefully. All right, this is the morning wager. Hopefully when Mark Zinno wakes up tomorrow, he will be feeling better. And until next time, let's cash some tickets.